Всем чиш, молотки, это второй выпуск Hammers TV. Стрим с просмотром матча опять откладывается, не все молотки еще вышли из комы. Но сегодняшний выпуск тоже будет интересным. Большое интервью с Линой Стар, которая, оказывается, топит за молотков аж с 2010 года. Интересная история про Марка Нобла, которую откопал Олег. И подборка 10 лучших голов с Уотфордом в преддверии матча. Поехали! Сначала ты чистишь с выкладыванием фото в Инстаграм, а потом смотришь порно без женщин. Вот пример того, как должны делать селфи молотки. С фильтрами и без фильтров. Оставляйте свои комментарии, чтобы мы понимали, кто из фанатов слишком часто делает фото самого себя.
Yes, but it's okay. Marla, look at me. I'm really okay. Trust me. Everything's gonna be fine.
Вупи Голдберг не смогла добраться до нас, ее завернули на границе, но я безумно рад, что к нам добрался старина Патрик Суэйзи. Патрик, приветствую. В преддверии матча с Уотфордом мы даем прогнозы. К примеру, порнозвезда Лина Стар прогнозирует победу 2-0. Букмекеры немного с ней не согласны, конечно, они дают 3.56 на нашу победу при 2.14 на Уотфорд. Может быть, это потому, что мы играем на выезде. Но у нас восстановился Филипп Андерсон, у нас восстановился Ноубл, восстановился Аллер. Все, кроме Рида, готовы сыграть. Такое ощущение, что мы сломали проклятие стеклянного Энди Кэрролла. Патрик, какие твои мысли по этому поводу и что ты прогнозируешь? Это да, это был гол Карлтона Коула. Ты про матч с Блэкпулом в финале чемпионшипа. Красава. С Шеффилдом мы обязательно возьмем маски Тевиса. Все мы помним этот Great Escape. То есть ты прогнозируешь 2-1. Красава, дай пожму тебе руку. Друзья, Патрик Суэйзи тоже прогнозирует победу со счетом 2-1. Будем надеяться на лучшее. Come on, you Irons! Отличную историю отрыл Олежа Тудвасов. Она о том, как Марк Нобл купил себе дрон, решил слетать на участок живущего неподалеку Джеймса Томпкинса, наш воспитанник, между прочим. Тот кинулся на дрон и начал бросаться в него углем с барбекю и все, что попадалось под руку, потому что решил, что это бандиты отслеживают его участок. В итоге Маркушу сдал Энди Кэрролл через 2 месяца. Ну, вы увидите все в видео, он сам расскажет.
Crystal Palace tracksuit. Me and my son was in my garden looking on the phone at the drone, and you could see that he got really angry that the drone was in his garden, so he started swearing at my drone, and he turned around and picked up lumps of coal from his barbecue and started frying them at the drone. So obviously he was at Palace at the time, so I didn't even text him to say it was me, forgot about it. I come in the next day and was telling the lads and was laughing, and about 2 months later Andy Carroll bumped into him in a hotel in London and told him that it was me. He rang me and he was fuming.
В преддверии матча с Уотфордом наш друг из Одессы сделал подборку 10 лучших голов с шершнями. Тебе слово, Дим. Трепещите, пацаны, порнозвезда Лина Стар дала нам эксклюзивное интервью. Смотрим и наслаждаемся. Держим руки над столом. Я смотрю.
But I just love him so much that I would give him a blowjob every day. What?
Опять Вестхэм проебал.
Русские молотки.
Now you already know we're Russian Hammers, and from about this week we're making Russian Hammers TV. It's absolutely fun. I know my fellow Oleg already sent you a YouTube first link. Have you already seen it?
No, I haven't. I literally just got back from Vegas because I was doing a Hammers event there. So I barely haven't had time to do anything. But I will check it out as soon as I have a second.
The main reason we're talking now is of course you. And the West Ham we all support it. In Russia we have jokes. Supporting West Ham is like a diabetes. You only have to control the sugar in your blood.
Oh yeah.
When your disease started, when you started supporting West Ham?
For me, it was like the same year you guys started, 2010, 2011. Yeah. So I'm originally from Poland, and then I moved to America when I was 7. But around 2010, 2011, I was living in London, and I was dating a guy who supported Liverpool, and he took me to see a Liverpool West Ham game, and obviously he thought I would I'd be excited for his team. But I was watching, and the first time I heard Bubbles actually was probably the first time I really thought I really loved the team. And then I saw the West Ham supporters, and I saw how excited they were and how much they loved their team. And so I never, I broke up with the guy. I fell out of love with him, but I fell in love with West Ham. And especially, I don't know why, but I just love the anthem so much. And so I kept with the team ever since that time I saw the game at Upton Park. And so I didn't expect for it to happen, but I wasn't usually, even though my family is very big into soccer, football, just because we're Polish, I wasn't huge into supporting any team really until I started watching West Ham. So now I've been very big into since 2010. And people think that I just use West Ham as a way to, I don't know, to get more fans. But I've been supporting them way before I started doing anything else.
Have you ever recall your ex-boyfriend and say, "You was my big mistake, but thank you for I now supporting West Ham"?
Sort of, because I have a lot of ex-boyfriends who then find out what I do now, and they'll always, and they'll try to sort of, they want credit for it. Yeah, so I think he wants credit for what he did, meaning he got me into it, and I say, no, it's not. There's nothing. You wanted me to support Liverpool, so it's like he gets no credit for it.
So we are talking a few days before the Watford game. What's your prediction on this match and the season whole?
Well, I predict, at least for this game, I'm hoping that West Ham win 2-0. I think that obviously we're only going to get better because we started off really shitty, obviously, as a season opener. We have had such shit luck throughout the years. We always get to play the worst team.
124 years becoming better.
Yeah, no, it's true. But you know that every year, even though it's like it's a chance draw, but we always get the hardest team to play. So everyone gets so upset because the first game we play, we have this really difficult team. It's not like we get some easy team to play. So then when we lose the first game, everyone is so upset, but but if you look at the past 5 years, every first team we played has been so difficult. So everyone has to sort of calm down and know that this season we're only going to get better. It's only, they just need to get their footing.
That's a big part of supporting West Ham. It's of course, that it's the question how you, after bad matches, you're drinking or you're running, how are you still alive and not with the bald hair, not bald
yeah, I know what you're saying. I pull my hair out. No, I swear a lot during matches. Believe me, I get very angry. It's hard not to. I just try to, believe it or not, I just turn off the TV and I go to sleep if it's a really bad match, so I don't end up drinking and I don't end up getting really upset. It's hard because I just try to look at the positives, which is that I love Pellegrini, I love all our team members, and I just try to look at the positives, which is that, depending on what the match is like, depending on who we're playing, that it's not, it's not like we're Manchester United, meaning that we're expecting to win every game.
You mean we're not glory hunters?
Yeah, exactly. And we love and support our team no matter if they win or lose, you know? So I don't get very pessimistic. I don't just say like fuck my team just because they lose a game. I still support them no matter win or lose. So I just try to, look at the positives, and I always think it's, I love them no matter what, and I just try to not get too discouraged no matter what happens. And as long as we don't get relegated, then I'm very happy. And even if that does happen, I've always supported them. So it's just a matter of don't get too discouraged, because I think too many people get caught up in, like, especially talking shit. If you're at a pub and watching with other people from other teams, it's way too easy to start talking shit and then start getting into fights.
Because of big time gap, time difference, how and when you usually are watching the games?
I watch them live, but I'm lucky that my job makes it so I sleep whenever I can, so my schedule's flexible. So I do just get up really early,
Most
and then I go.
professional porn star, I sleep whenever I can. It's like
Yeah, it's
special I've
but,
ever.
but not everyone is lucky like me. I work whenever I want to, and I sleep whenever I want to. So I just make my schedule work around the games. But I do legitimately. I wake up and I watch live games. So, and it's like even during the World Cup, my friends and I found pubs that would open at like 4 in the morning, or 3 in the morning to play live, to play the live matches. And I just work my life around it. And even if I'm exhausted, I just fall asleep right afterward, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's the same thing. Like a lot of my family lives in Europe. I just work my life around it. I Skype them, at odd hours, and then I just go back to sleep afterward. It's been my life forever, so I'm used to it. It's not a big deal.
Is it harder to work in porn industry or supporting West Ham?
Oh, that's a very funny story. I think honestly, it's both are things that I love. I think it's harder to support West Ham because I have no control over what happens, whereas I have a lot of control over my job. I have a lot, I can control everything that happens. I control who I work with, but I have no, like, if I think I think we all watch a game and we're like, oh, I wish, Pellegrini played this person or or why did he take out this guy and substitute this person? But he's not listening to us. He can't, he's not listening to our commentary. So we have no control over it. So it's very frustrating sometimes. But, but in my job, I have all the control. So I think it's more difficult to support West Ham, but it doesn't mean I love them any less.
I watched a few of your videos, and I can say that your control is much better than Pellegrini's right now.
Well, it's funny because I don't know if you look at it this way, but I like Pellegrini because honestly, I think he looks like a dad. So I mean, I think it's hard when you're like this father figure to them to have a lot of control. Because players, no matter what, are like that.
Google type in Pellegrini and the young girl.
I know. But it's funny because I just went the other day. I went bowling with a bunch of porn stars, and there's a guy who is in the industry who's he's French, and he's like Pellegrini's age, no joke, and he's been working in porn forever. And I kept thinking that the whole time. I was like, this guy could be like my grandfather, and he's been working for it forever. And he's married. He has kids, his grandkids, and.
Oh, you're talking about Woodman, the Woodman.
No, what's his name?
It's funny because now in the Premier League there is a goalkeeper, Woodman. I don't know his name.
Really? There's so many jokes you can make, no, it's very funny. Steve Holmes, that's who it is in porn, who's like Pellegrini's, I'm sure he's younger than Pellegrini, but they look somewhat similar in my head just because they're both European, and Steve Holmes and I get along very well, and he's a very funny guy. And but I'm thinking in my head like, oh my God, like it's just very funny to me, like that people don't think that porn stars have normal lives, but we're very normal. And like he's married, he has a normal life, and we all went bowling, and it was a very normal night. And I was telling him about the fact that like I am going to this big event with West Ham, and that's a huge part of my life. But like all I do is not just porn. So
Now I know that you're supporting West Ham till 2010, so you've been at Upton Park, bowling ground. And have you been on the new ground? And I know it's like you're, oh, it's huge, or oh, it's huge, but it's pretty shit still.
Yeah. No, I haven't. I'm waiting to go. Hopefully I'll go overseas again. I constantly try to renew my passport to travel, but I haven't been to the new stadium. No, I want to. I want to see the new carpet. That would be nice. There's so many jokes there. I don't know if you know that, like the terminology, like carpet is like another word for like girls like pubic hair. So there's all these jokes you can make for from both things. But yeah, I would love to see.
Like you don't need a Heathrow now in London because you can. I know plane can sit down on the gap between our fans and and the goalkeeper. It's they don't need a Heathrow. Have you been in Russia?
When I was very little, yes, because my grandma on my mom's side is Russian. So and one of my side of the family is from Russia. So all my relatives there are still living in Russia. But I don't remember how young I was, so it was a very long time ago.
What bad words in Russia, the Russian language do you know?
I don't know any bad words. I only know a few phrases in Russian because there's a lot of Russians, and I only know bad words in Polish, obviously. So, because that's what
I've never been in Polish. I was by driving on the bus. I was a few times in Polish, but I don't know. It's a kurwa, zej, zolowka.
Yeah, kurwa is like the generic word. Pierdolsha is like fuck you, and kurva mać is like equivalent of like holy shit.
Kurwa! Ja pierdolę!
It's not a direct translation, but it's like it doesn't really mean slut. It's like kurva. It just means
it's like it's bitch, that damn bitch.
Yeah, bitch. Like a little bit like bitch. Yeah, it means a bunch of, but it's used to mean a lot of different things. That's why people say like kurva. Yeah, it just like they say it all the time, like by itself, or you can say kurva mać, or you can say, but jivka literally means slut. I remember this from watching all these TV shows, and then if you say like this is, I think this is something similar in Russian, but like sukin sinu means like son of a bitch.
When West Ham losing the match, I always say ёбаный в рот, опять проебали. Can you repeat it?
See, it's too hard for me to hear everything. See, that's the thing. I can't read Russian, so I wouldn't be able to say it. What?
Опять West Ham проебал.
I wouldn't be able to repeat that unless I did it slowly with you.
Блять.
Yeah?
Да, блять, West Ham опять проиграл. Проебал.
I'm telling you, I think Skype is fucking with us because the only time it cut out is when you're trying to swear.
Oh, so it's like your life position, you are not making the bad words.
Yeah, I think it's secretly listening, and it's like, no teaching you how to swear.
Cool. Okay, it's cool. So what's the prediction on the match Watford about score and the prediction of our position to the end of the season?
Okay, so my prediction was 2-0 for us, and I'm hoping that Noble is back.
Ёбаный рот, блядь! Давай назад, блядь, придурок!
But do you know how we usually, West Ham usually making so some team not winning about 20 years, they are playing West Ham, they are winning. Watford already lost 5 games in a row in Premier League, and they are now playing with us. No, it's like I'm a little bit scary. Aren't you?
I hope that Pellegrini's teaching them, like when they're training, to say that like don't think that just because it's not a difficult team that you should not be worried. So that way it's not like so they don't fuck up. I think that hopefully he's training them very hard so that they're gonna play really well. So it's like anybody else. So they're playing them as though it's like so it's like Manchester United, as though. Because that's what the mistakes that they made pass that when they are playing as though it's not a difficult team, then they fuck up.
They chant about this. It's like we lose every week. We
Yeah.
We lose every week. We lose every week. You nothing special. We lose every week.
Mixed question. It's the most interesting for course for the boys. It's not about your profession, but it's like you are a girl. With whom of our squad you'll have sex?
Oh, that's a very probably. I'm very biased, but because Fabianski is my favorite player,
Because he's a
just
Polish.
because he's Polish. I mean, it's funny because they're married, so it almost doesn't matter. But I just love him so much that I would give him a blowjob every day if it means that he'll be a good goalkeeper. You know, to keep him on his game and to keep him doing well for West Ham, I would fuck him every day just to make sure he played as well as he's played. Whatever it takes to keep Fabianski on his game, to make sure he's fucking saving every single goal.
About beautifulness, only by the most beautiful.
Oh yeah, for look, I don't know. Fabianski's still really handsome, so it's really hard not to say that. But I feel like I'm biased just because he's from my country. So, but other than that, I don't know who else. Yeah, I know. I think I'm just biased.
I think he's pretty handsome. I don't know. It's you never Lanzini.
That's true. Lanzini is really cute, but he's also always posting pictures with his wife. I feel like I can't give a good answer because outside, like, and then Declan has a girlfriend. All the other guys have wives because they're football players. They all have, they can get girls so easily.
We're talking about just possibility. For example, it's not. But Lanzini, a lot of girls that don't like football most, they like players most. They always go, Lanzini, he's so handsome, he's so cute. So it's
But he's like, I don't know, he's cute. I think he's too much of a pretty boy for me.
the strongest. Like, what about Antonio the Beast?
That's true. Antonio is really cute. But then maybe I would probably do not Antonio, but maybe Haller.
Haller. Oh, he's so
Yeah,
tall.
that's what it is. Yeah, he's really tall. I like that. I like that in a guy. I like tall guys. I'm pretty tall myself, so I like guys who are even like much taller than. I'm like 5'7", which is like
I would sit like this right now. It's like, oh.
Well, no, it's not that. It's because when I have to wear high, I am so tall because like if I wear no shoe, like flat shoes, it's fine. I'm normal. But if I have to wear high heels, I am like so tall. I'm like most guys. So it's nice to be around a really, really tall guy sometimes. No, but it's not even that. It's just that I think I really like Haller. I think he's a great player.
King Kong fighting with the planes, and on the hills you are kissing with him there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But I know a lot of problems. Like it's not our fault. But you see, the girls are really either like super short and cute, or we're too tall. So there's no in between.
The second most popular question is about Mia Khalifa. Do you know her in life, in business, or in supporting?
No, I don't know her in real life, but I know she's a West Ham fan because she posts a lot of things about that. But it's hard because she left the industry before I started, so that's why I never met her. So she doesn't, because she stopped so early, I never got a chance to meet her. So that's the only reason.
It's like the video, when Too Fast to
Yeah.
Furious, you're riding like to the different places. Like Too Fast and Furious when he died, and Vin Diesel, and they were driving to the different places. And so
Yeah, exactly.
Real fun, cause we're brothers first. Cause we're been through a lot, but then they know, but we gon' keep it going.
Ты всегда будешь со мной
Change the game without even knowing.
и всегда будешь моим братом.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side.
Yeah, her life just went in a totally different phase. Like she, right when I only started like 2 years ago, and when I started, I was going very slowly because I was very shy, and that was probably just when she stopped, and she was just getting married, just met her husband. and so, or Jess was starting her new life. So it's hard because a lot of people ask me if I know this person, and you'd be surprised. There's so many people think like I know everybody, and there's so many people that you don't like. People don't understand has their favorites, and who I think is like cool and popular is very different than what other people think, like who other people think are popular. So, and there's not just hundreds of porn stars. There's so many people, and not everyone lives in LA. So I don't get to see them at all the events. A matter of like it's not as easy to meet everybody who everybody wants me to know. So I try to meet everybody. It's great. I go to every event that I can go because I'm lucky that I live in LA, and that's where most of the events are. But no, I haven't met her, but I've met a lot of people.
And the third most popular, of course, question, I suppose few of our supporters are maybe virgins still. They're asking, do you have a boyfriend?
No, I do not. Just because my life is so hectic, I travel all the time, so it's very difficult. Very few people. I think probably a lot of athletes understand what that's like, because when your life is so busy, it's very hard to have a normal relationship because you're constantly going to different states. I'm very, very I live in LA, but I'm very rarely here because I'm going to Vegas or I'm going to another state or sometimes, across the country. So it's hard. It's not very easy. But but it's not. But again, like while I'm still young, before I get married, before I have kids, I want to do this. So one day, settle down. Just not right now.
Sounds cool. You know videos for introduction, can you say something like Russian hammers?
Yeah, of course. Hold on. I will do this. See, I'm wearing my American West Ham podcast shirt. How would you say Russian hammers? Русские hammers or?
Русские молотобойцы.
Okay, that was way too hard. Русские what? Русские
молотки. Молотки. Русские молотки.
Русские молотки. Okay. There we go. Русские молотки. I hope that was good enough. Is this better? Can you see my whole face yet?
Yeah. That's cool now.
Okay, good. Русские молотки. And if it's not good enough, I will do it for you later too, okay?
Oh, it will be the most great thing. Okay.
Yeah, I can always do it for you privately, like on my phone or something, and send it to you, okay?
Yeah, of course. It's like I know. There is a New Zealand rugby team. They are dancing like a jacka. Ooga. Maybe we'll have some dance from Lina Star.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
It will be great. We're here for the interview. It was so nice, and I just only can ask you that hot kiss for all the Russian fans.
Oh yeah, no, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. Like it's so great. Like, well, obviously I want to say like thank you for having me lead star on your Russian Hammers podcast, or whatever you want to say it, Russian Hammers interview. But it's really great. I love talking to everybody like all around the country and just being able to voice my opinion, but also just being able to answer questions. And if you have any more questions, you can always send them to me because I usually try to answer any questions. Just give me a heads up because I can let you know when I'm in town. But yeah, I would love to do it again. That's no problem.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Lina. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, of course.
I know you are a true West Ham, not like Mia Khalifa, glory hunting for an actress.
No.
The true West Ham.
Yeah, that's what I do all the time.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Great. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Good day. Say hi to everyone there who helped out. Thank you so much.
Come on, you are here.
Yeah, right. Come on, you are.
Молотки выходят из печки так же нелепо, как Барселона покупает Неймара у ПСЖ. сделать стрим просмотра матча с Ньюпортом во вторник, так что оставайтесь с нами. Come on, you Irons!